Okay, blessed night, everyone. The Lord bless you. This is Reverend Magdalene Silawe. You know, today I was just reflecting on the will of God. Yeah, I was at church and then I began to reflect after church on the will of God, and I just discovered that the will of God is not as simple as we can mention it or rather talk about it. You know, I began to think the will of God is so much painful. It is not easy, though it sounds to be so good. When I was thinking about it, tears began to drop. I looked at two things concerning the will of God, and the two things that I had looked at was when we're talking about the will of God, we are talking about somebody being removed from his heart desires. In short, somebody losing what he's holding onto. For instance, it can be a love relationship. You know, if that's not the will of God, we are talking about you losing the one you think you love because he's not the will of God or she is not the will of God. So, you know, that's where it becomes so painful, because when you are desiring something, for instance, it may be a certain employment. You love it, that job, you love it so much you don't want to lose it. But if it's not the will of God, because you cannot let it go by yourself, it will be taken away from you. So you feel disappointed, you feel rejected. On this point, it's where I came up saying the will of God is not easy. The will of God is painful. It's easier said than going through it. But at the end of the day, it has benefits. But before you reach the beneficial part, there is a process. I just want to encourage somebody that is going through that process. It can be a rejection, a disappointment. Oh my God, I just want to encourage you that at the end of it all, it pays. The will of God, you know, it is you living your purpose, entering into the purpose of God. You know, living what you love, entering into what God wants for you. And that's why it becomes crucial and painful. But at the end of it all, it pays. May the Lord give you the grace if you are listening to me and you are passing through that process. The Lord bless you.